Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. This is where we'll be reviewing prop firms. I will be going through the challenges myself and reporting back with my findings to see what's worth your time in 2025. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in prop firms, trading, anything like that, so you don't miss a video. Now let's get into it. So we're going to start with OFP Funding. So I took this challenge back in March. I've not been trading with them since, and we're going to get into why. But first, let's start from the very beginning and have a look at the website. Looking at the homepage, yeah, it's pretty decent. The color scheme's quite nice. It doesn't look as polished as some of its competitors. It's the ticker tape. It's a little bit off-putting for me. Not sure it looks overly professional, but it is offering some discounts and some codes by the looks of it, which, yeah, I suppose it serves a purpose, so I won't bag on it too much. Purchase a funded account right there in the center, so easy enough to see where we're going to go to buy an account, which is, believe it or not the case on some of the others. So yeah, it's good to see. The Discord is on the right there. It's really good when these prop firms have a decent community, so make sure that you dive into those first, ask around, see what other people's experiences are. Definitely go into the payout channel, because you'll often see exactly what a prop firm's up to there. You'll see people arguing often, and mainly without reason, but it is always good to really investigate these prop firms, and the Discord's a great place to do it before you part with any money. So that is, yeah, if I do kind of offer any advice ever, it's always check out the communities first. I think if they don't have a community in this day and age, little bit of a red flag. So it's good to see that they've got one and it's accessible right there and then. So let's take a look at the trading rules. So yeah, it's nice to see that they're on the homepage. You know, they're not hidden, always a good sign. So OFP has just 4 simple rules that need to be followed to get a payout. I mean, 4 rules seems pretty simple, seems pretty fair. Let's have a look at them. So maximum daily loss, very common one. I can't think of a prop firm that probably doesn't have a maximum daily loss, but it's nice that they've got some options. So daily loss of 2%, that's quite strict, and 5%, and I can imagine that there is a decent price gap between these two here. So, but yeah, I mean, if your strategy allows for a daily loss of 2%, then yeah, I'm sure you can make a saving on that. So it's nice to see that there on, you know, front and center. Maximum overall loss, again, I don't think there's a prop firm that doesn't have some sort of maximum drawdown rule, but it is nice again that we've got some options, and I can imagine that this kind of gives you some sort of benefit by not going with the max 10% if you do go with 6%. And again, if your strategy allows for that, you know, take advantage of it. But it is nice to see that 10%'s there as well, because that sometimes isn't on other accounts these days. Some of them, you know, are 8%, and that 2% does make a difference when you're that far drawn down. So it's nice to know that you've got the option. Inconsistency score rules. So this one, it seems to be quite bespoke to OFP. I've not seen this on any other challenges. It might be out there, but I've not seen it. So make sure you do your research into this rule, because I think this is probably one of the ones that is really make or break with this company. If you're a swing trader, or if you're one of those traders that gets kind of big returns but not very often off a large move, this may not be the best for you. So those people, you know, the 30 to 1s, the high percentage returns that you get kind of once every couple of weeks, you're going to have to be a little bit more consistent with your trades. So I think this kind of works a lot more for a 2 to 1 or a 3 to 1 trader, rather than those swing traders that wait for those big moves, because basically you need to level out your max kind of profit day to around 20%. So yeah, I think that's definitely one to look into. It's not going to be for everyone. So yeah, that's my first kind of comment on OFP. Make sure you read about this inconsistency score. And last one, prohibited trading strategies. I'm sure this is just going to be the usual. So yeah, martingale, arbitrage, high frequency trading, gambling, copy trading, news straddling, cross hedging. So these are pretty much standard across the industry now. I know like the cross hedging of accounts was quite damaging. A lot of kind of seedy Discord channels and you know, a lot of things like that went on. These pay to pass, I'm sure, haven't been healthy for the industry. So it's good that these rules are there. And I mean, if you want to be in this game long term, I don't think any of these are really the way forward personally. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a prop firm out there that will accept that if you do any of this. But yeah, I'm not concerned by any of these rules here. They seem pretty standard. Trading behavior. So this is this is the manual review on your payout. And I will say that from the community, I have seen quite a few times where I'm not sure this has been ruled the fairest. It seems to be it doesn't seem to be fixed what they're asking of people. It seems the goalposts seem to slightly move with this manual review. So yeah, just another one to raise there. Yeah, I think definitely have a look at some of these unethical examples that are in the Discord channel. But yeah, from face value, nothing really would raise any alarm bells there. So let's move over to the pricing tab. So I'm sure we're going to see some of those rules from earlier. We're going to be able to change our max drawdown and our account size. So yeah, it's quite nice that we can do this. So we've got type of payout, on demand, bi-weekly and monthly. So I'm sure there's going to be a price difference there. So I can't remember exactly what I spec'd back in March, but let's just go bi-weekly, GBP, account size. I think I went for 25k. I don't typically spec a large account when it's my first time trading with a prop firm. It's just out of habit really that I've had some that I've not really got on with. And you know, if you spent a couple of £100 on an account rather than close to £1,000, it's not that bad. But I mean, I guess that's each to their own and whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, I normally go with 10 or 25 to start with a company, and then once I'm more comfortable, I'll go for the larger accounts. And max daily drawdown, I think I went for around 4% here. But again, it's nice that you've got the option. That's not something that you see on every challenge. So $220, I don't think that's a bad price. I think that's quite a fair price with 100% profit split. So I don't think that was the case when I bought my account back in March. Interesting to see how that actually works. But yeah, I mean, each to their own. That sounds pretty good. Leverage, 1 to 100. So again, that's pretty decent. I'm not sure anyone would need much more than that. Sometimes on these cheaper accounts, it's slightly lower leverage, like 1 to 30. I've seen 1 to 3. So yeah, 1 to 100, yeah, pretty average. Max daily drawdown 4%, max drawdown 8%, max inconsistency score 20%. So that's the real thing that you do need to keep your eye out on. Payouts bi-weekly, and you can compare plans here. So yeah, that's really quite nice actually. And yeah, the UI is really quite friendly there. You can spec an account quite easily. They offer a scaling plan, which I don't tend to do, but it's a nice option for people to have. And then they just go over the payout structure at the bottom here. No renewal fees, so OFP is not a subscription program. It means that the trader, having purchased the account, will be able to use it for as long as they wish or until a violation has occurred. Each account has a lifelong duration. Enjoy your OFP account for the rest of your life. It's quite a bold claim with how quick and prop firms can come and go, but yeah, I like the commitment. And then the bottom here, we've just got some links to the T's and C's and the affiliate programs. So we're not going to go over anything about the affiliate programs. We're just strictly going to talk about trading for the prop firms for the moment. So they've got some testimonials, a leaderboard, withdrawal methods, traders interviews, and save a trader. So we'll just see some testimonials. So yeah, that's nice. They've got some traders talking about their payouts and some videos. So feel free to go and watch those. They've got some certificates to prove that they're paying out. So you do see that on their Discord as well, which yeah, I think it does build confidence. So no red flags here at the moment. Seems pretty good. They have got a leaderboard, which is, I think, quite nice and fun. It doesn't seem to be functioning at the moment, but I did actually get on here when I was trading the 25k back in March. And, you know, it's quite fun, so nice to have. Withdrawal methods. So initiating a withdrawal request. So once you've met the necessary trading criteria and adhered to all account rules, you can request a payout. So as usual, you submit a request, it goes to processing. So I got a manual review. I'll go through that in a little bit, but whether there is an automated option, I'm not sure, but it says 1 to 3 days. So that's pretty standard. Nothing really to worry about there. Traders interviews. So yeah, kind of a podcast format, talking to other traders, which I do think is nice. I think it's nice when companies champion their top traders and bring them into light. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. And the help center. So this is kind of all the frequently asked questions. But I will say I did actually use the live chat bot when I first got my account. I don't often trade with CTrader. I was having some issues logging in. Yeah, it's just sound like an amateur there, but yeah, I was having some issues, and the live chat was really quite good. I think it was pretty late at night as well, and I got a response. So yeah, I've got no real issues with the homepage at all. I think that it's a pretty nice interface. It allows people to spec their own custom challenge, which is quite nice. I think the pricing is generally quite good, and the links to the Discord and stuff. So yeah, from the website, I think it's pretty good so far, but let's move on to talking about my experience. So this is the client dashboard, and I will show you around. I am just going to blur out certain bits. I don't want to be sharing passwords and things like that. But as you can see, the initial balance, 25 grand account, in pounds, on CTrader, and I started on the 9th of March 25. So yeah, it took me a while to put this video together. I've been quite busy, but I did want to get it done just to share it with the trading community and talk about my experience with this specific firm. So as you can see, I've got a violation at the top, but that is just no trading for 30 days. I've not, I'm no longer trading with this company. I probably won't trade with them in the future, if I'm honest. I haven't had the best experience, but yeah, I just want to show you the trader dashboard. So as you can see, I got 24% growth in the 6-7 weeks that I was trading this account, with a total profit of £6,053.77. So the total account balance was 31,000 in the end. So 1.73 on my profit factor, and an average RR of almost 1 to 2, which is, what I trade. So I did 67 trades in total profit of around 6k, and my win to loss was 47%, which is about what I expect from my back testing. So yeah, I wasn't winging this at all. This was pretty much the results that I normally expect to see when I'm trading with a company. So yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary there. It's nice that you get these metrics in this format. It's relatively useful for checking that everything's standing up against your testing, check that you're on the right path, that you're not making any mistakes that, are blaring out at you. The chart, so that is showing the last week. I'm not sure, so it only goes to the last month. So the chart's not very useful for me in this specific scenario, but when it is live, it's, pretty inoffensive. So loss analytics. So this is where you can see your kind of available drawdown, where you are on your inconsistency score, how your available daily loss. So it is really quite useful. And your illegal strategies, which if you have broken one of the rules, that should come up with a red cross, which I didn't see because I didn't break any of the rules. But yeah, we'll get onto that in a little bit. So again, you've got your rules check here, so the max daily loss and the max total loss, neither of which have been breached. You've got your balance and equity stats here, so you've got your max and your min. So you can see that I did draw down to 23,639, so not anywhere near what for an area of concern. And you've got your profits and losses here. So as you can see, nothing strange here. My losses are far smaller than any of my gains, which is a big thing for OFP. If you do look on the Discord, that's what they class as unethical trading behavior. So nothing to cause any alarms there. You've got a weekly overview, which can just say how many trades you've done that week, your average profit, and the average lots traded. So yeah, the metrics are quite good here. And then you've got your full trading history, so you can go over your trades if you've got any backtesting software that you kind of fill in manually, or if you just kind of want to have a look over how you've done, or double check what trades you've taken at a certain time. Yeah, you've got that all in front of you, which is pretty average for the industry, but yeah, it's not a bad interface at all in my opinion. And your profit and loss, which is quite useful in this graph here, however you want to make that really. So we've got 32 wins to 35 losses, which, yeah, as I said, about consistent with all my back testing and with how my strategy should perform. So that's really the client-side portal. So as you can see, you've got some interesting metrics, you've got some interesting stats and information. It's relatively in line with the rest of the industry. So now we'll talk about my payout experience. So I had passed the inconsistency score, I'd passed all of the other rules, I had a green tick next to my name. There shouldn't have been any issue with my payout there. So I reached out to the company to say I had to reach out via email to talk about my payout and request my payout. I was told that I would hear back in a few days, to which I did. So about 2 days later, I was asked for a video to discuss my strategy. So I came back with the video within about 20 minutes of receiving the email, so I just quickly jumped on my phone, did a screen recording on TradingView and just discussed my strategy. So my strategy is a very mechanical strategy. I don't really reference the news. I trade on the hour time frame, so I don't look at larger market trends. I don't look at the day, month, even 4 hours. And I definitely don't look at the 5-minute, the 15-minute charts. So I did a video explaining my strategy, how I look at the 1 hour time frame, what my entries are, what my exits are. I only trade 2 currency pairs, so it's super easy to explain. A few days later, I still haven't heard, so I'm chasing it up. I go onto the Discord, I do bring it up with the rest of the community. There's a fair few people having the exact same issue I'm having, and getting told a similar story again and again of how people are being denied payouts even though they've proven their strategy, they've passed all the rules, but the emails are coming back saying that they've done something wrong, or they've done this, or they've done that wrong. So I'm just going to talk about the email that I've received here. I will kind of redact any information that perhaps shouldn't be public. I will say that I did speak with several members of the community around this time, and a lot of other people had issues. A lot of other people had a very similar story to myself. They were being refused payouts. It did seem to be anyone that had a slightly higher payout. If you did see around that time on the Discord channel, there was kind of everyone was getting 1, 2, 3% payouts. Obviously, I was requesting a 20-odd% payout, and it did seem consistent with the other traders were receiving asking for a higher payout, so in the region of 3,000 to 4,000. So I did kind of say that does seem suspicious. It was met with a lot of hostility and a ban from the Discord channel. So yeah, make of that what you will. Obviously, this is my experience. I'm not, attempting to sway anyone from using OFP. My experience wasn't great, but that's what I'm here to do, kind of shine a light on my own personal experience. So yeah, let me just bring up the email here. We'll talk through it. So, dear trader, after a thorough review of your account, including a comparison of your trades with the explanation provided in your video, we have identified significant discrepancies. So they definitely didn't. I mean, my trades are so mechanical that there's no way there would be any sort of discrepancy. As I said, I trade on the 1 hour time frame. I trade 2 pairs. My trades are pretty much the same every single time. So many of your trades reflect a different trading approach than what you explained, and several points were noted during the review. No higher time frame breakdown, no trend direction explanation. So yeah, let me talk on that. No higher time frame breakdown. I don't do that. I trade the 1 hour time frame. I don't look at the daily. I don't look at the hour 4. I'm not sure I should have to. A lot of other prop firms are completely fine with the way that I trade. It's a completely mechanical strategy. No emotion. I don't think I know what the trades are going to do, which is something that I actually did comment in the Discord back to the moderator. Well, what does it matter if I think that Aussie dollar's going to go up tomorrow? I thought the idea is that we trade a strategy. We don't try and predict what the market's going to do. But yeah, I guess that is up for debate. So trading on lower time frames blindly without a higher time frame bias to identify the trend direction may be considered a gambling approach. I'm not sure about that. I've got over 3 years worth of backtesting information on this specific setup and system that I was using for this challenge. I did share with them over a year's worth of backtesting information on a spreadsheet with all charts, graphs and everything, which was exactly the strategy I was using, that proved that it was profitable long term, but they didn't seem to mention that at all. So they are saying that this is because you are just trying to catch the market when there is a setup presented in the lower time frame, but there is no clear edge to it. Unfortunately, this is not a trading approach that we can support or tolerate here at OFP. I'd arguably say that 24% in less than 2 months is a pretty substantial edge, and an edge that I've maintained to this day and for the past few years. So I'm not really sure what they mean by that comment. I mean, yeah, I'm open to criticism at all times, but I followed the rules. I'm not sure really this is the fairest explanation. So they've gone on to say, we understand that entries need to be taken on the lower time frame in order to get the best entry possible and minimize risk per trade. However, there has to be a clear higher time frame to a lower time frame transition in terms of trade analysis. So this isn't mentioned anywhere in their website. It's not mentioned anywhere in the documentation. It seems that the risk team have just come up with that on the spot. If I'm honest, it feels that way. So yeah, not sure if anyone else has had this experience. If you do, please comment below and let's get talking. And just I'd be interested to see everyone else's experience with this company or any other. So they do understand that I'd made profits with it and managed to meet the inconsistency score. So yeah, everything that they said I needed to do from the offset. However, we believe that trading is not all about the current results, but the long-term results. Again, I did provide them with over a year's worth of backtesting information that has worked with other prop firms, other challenges, and I've not found a problem with it so far. But yeah, they seem to not really want to listen to the data that I'd provided. So they say that they then require a proper strategy that will keep the trading environment with us fair and sound for both parties. So not really sure what I was risking. I was, trading to the rules. I was trading sensibly. I wasn't making any emotional decisions. I was trading to my system, my mechanical system that I've got a lot of faith in, and provided, a lot of evidence to back up. So they then just go on to say that in conclusion, they want me to change the way I trade to meet their terms and conditions. So they end it with failure to adhere to these standards may result in further action. Unfortunately, the payout for this cycle is not eligible for payment due to the discrepancies identified above. Would I use OFP funding again? Probably not. I can see that people are getting payouts. I can see that on the Discord that people are having a good experience with this company, but I think the fairest way to move forward would be to put it on your rule book or put it on your website that if you do require multi-time frame analysis or you do require traders to look at news, let us know, rather than at the payout phase. It's just make it clear. So all the views in this video are my own. I talk about my own experiences. That's what this channel's about, reviewing prop firms and letting you know how I get on with them. So please like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you on the next one.